right to it because we only have an hour and I got a lot of questions here. This is a question for everybody. You are all iconic. What makes a housewife iconic?
Ask them.
Okay. What makes a housewife iconic? Sorry? Flipping tables. Only one can flip a table. Let's ask the icons themselves.
Okay.
Dorinda, what makes a housewife iconic?
I think the thing that makes a housewife, iconic is being authentic. You don't want to be one person on the show and another person off. You have to be approachable. And I think at the end of the day, you need to know how to, do your show, get on the show, do your best, and then get off and really make things right. And not go off and make up stories and pretend.
Yeah.
That's just a thing. Someone trying to get me.
That actually brings up an interesting point because, I am an actor and when cameras are on, I turn into a different person. Is it difficult to turn into a different person or is it more difficult to be so true to yourself?
No, I think it's not. I think when you're on, you have a job to do, right, Teresa?
I mean, I think I'm pretty authentic.
Some would say too authentic at times, right?
That's what makes her great.
It does.
Well, for me, hi, darling. Thank you. No, I got to thank each and every one of you because you actually taught me how to be a reality housewife. Because each year I became more and more transparent, and I fell in love with you for falling in love with me. So, peeling back the layers and living in your truth, even if it's bad.
That's
you
right.
wanted it because tomorrow could get better. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I am the living proof of that. Madame is much better.
Jill Zarin, what makes a housewife iconic?
I think when the fans remember the things that you say and repeat back your clip and one-liners and things like that, I think that kind of makes you, that starts to create the legacy or being iconic. When people really remember, because the ones that are not, that you think aren't iconic, it's because you don't remember what they said, you don't really remember their storyline, so to speak. But I think when you get to know someone and you feel them and then you feel like you know them, that makes you iconic.
Jill, what do people yell at you in the street when they see you?
So many things. That's a good one. I get a lot of cameos for doing surprise. I do. I love them all. I would say the number one thing is, a lot of people give me the condolences for Bobby because they loved Bobby.
Right.
I'd say that's
God rest his soul.
at the top of the list, and we miss him. I can't believe it's going to be 5 years in January. It freaks me out. And I think the other thing is that they want me to come back.
Maybe we should ask the audience this. Grand Dame, what do people yell at you in the street?
Hello, Grand Dame. But then they say, hey, Kern. And you're the best Karen in the pandemic. I'm just really grateful. I mean, I feel like we're family. So I respond to everyone, and thank you for responding to me. And I think it makes it iconic when you all quote what I say. Actually, I said people come to me all the time. They just don't find me 7 years ago. And they still come, and they still not find me. That's iconic reality.
Wow, Dorinda, you have so many quotable lines.
I know.
What do people yell at you in the street?
I just did thank you all for coming to the fan meet and greet. I'm sorry I couldn't see everybody. It was great. But you walk into, even today, the fan meet and greet, and everyone's yelling out, make it nice! Now, well, bitch, I made a lot of money on that well, bitch sweatshirt.
Hey, look at this. We have another guest here. Jill, who was watching? I'm so sorry. Not only am I a moderator, but I'm also security, and somebody doesn't have credentials. Get him out of here!
Exactly.
I'm kidding. Trey, what do they yell at? What happens when you walk in a restaurant?
So much. Prostitution whore. Stage 19 times. I got tree huggers out there. Is Big's better? What else? Tell me, guys. Love. I love
I always say love, love, love now, which I find myself saying that all the time.
Working on your shows is that a lot of it revolves around parties, events, and
That's where the drama happens.
well, that's where drama
Yeah.
always happens. I mean, we've seen many fashion shows in New Jersey, Teresa. How, like, when I go out and I party, no one's filming me. Is it difficult to watch alcohol intake and like what you're doing and getting riled up when you're in front of everyone? Is that something you think about? Is it something you get caught up in? Tell us about what happens with these big moments.
No, I think that's part of it. And I think when you're in it and doing it, and you got to be open to that, right? Because that's when all the dramatic stuff happens. No one likes, if we're going to all just sit around and, pretend like we're having lunch, then no one's going to watch it, right? Some of the best scenes happen there. I think what's important is that you just watch it and realize it doesn't really matter. If you're going to be someone that's on reality TV and relive it, rewatch it, and worry about it, you'll never make it. Who cares?
One of my
Because
favorite
they love
scenes.
you at the end of the day.
I'm
Sorry.
One of my favorite scenes was, remember when Jennifer got drunk at my pool party? I love that. And she's such a good sport about it, and she she laughed at herself.
Yeah, you have to be a good sport
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And you have
You
to
really
be
do,
a good
and-
sport with your other castmates and stuff because it passes,
It does.
right? And then you move on, and I think that's okay.
Well, I also, I'm chiming in on what the ladies just said. I think you guys took it to another level when I did the fireballs. And I still get free fireballs wherever I go to a restaurant now. But living in that true understanding that we are human. And
That's
we're supposed
right.
to be human in front of you. And we're supposed to, if we get tipsy, we get tipsy, you know?
Right.
It is what it is, and tomorrow's another day.
And I think that anybody that takes it and then weaponizes it like they did with Jennifer with me or stuff, they're just trying to, do something for themselves.
My kids are 13 now, and I look at baby pictures of them, and that's just on my phone on the toilet, and I get emotional. Is it emotional seeing clips of them? I mean, it must be.
Yeah, no, I love it. She is here, if you guys are wondering. She's here, so you guys will see her throughout the weekend. I just did a photo meet and greet with her, and we had so much fun. So, yeah, it gets emotional, and I'm glad I get to watch it, rewatch it on Bravo all the time, on demand. Yeah, because when you I know there's a lot of moms in here. Like you take pictures and you put it away, so you never I haven't rewatched video since they were little, but I put on demand on Bravo, and I watch it all the time.
Does it make you nostalgic not only for your family, but friendships that you've seen maybe grow apart over the years?
What, does it bother me, you mean?
Not bother you, but just tell us about your emotional journey.
Friendships that have broken up?
Yeah.
No, I mean...
I don't want to mention names because I don't want you or Louie coming at me after this, so I'll let you mention
No,
names.
that never happened. Listen, if friendships fall apart, it happens. Then you just move on. And then I guess it wasn't meant to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you had friends that it didn't work out, and now you don't talk to them anymore.
That's another panel with my psychiatrist.
That is, I think, sometimes the sad part of it. But I think, a lot of times you come back together. It takes a minute.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I'm a big believer of loyalty. And, when somebody fucks you, sorry, it's hard to forgive, It really is. It really is. It's hard
Well,
to...
I think that we should turn this positive and congratulate Teresa on her beautiful
Oh, thank
wedding.
you.
Of course.
Her best wedding. Looked like the most incredible honeymoon.
He's here too.
Dorinda, I'm moderating this thing, okay? This isn't Bluestone, okay? This is our house. Okay, Trey, looking back at some of the disagreements you've had with some cast members, do you wish you would handle things differently at times?
Of course, yes.
Any popping out?
Flipping the table, but everyone loves that. Throwing glass. What else did I do? Anything that I got physical with, you shouldn't get physical with.
But my God, it was a great TV.
Yeah. I mean, you should handle it with your words.
No regrets. Thank you so much.
No regrets. I mean, perfect, and we all make mistakes, and I'll be the first to say it, you know, yeah. So.
Just that iconic moment, it's got to be the most watched clip.
Well, I was just on Dancing with the Stars. Did you guys watch? Well, thanks for voting. No, I'm like, what is it with the Housewives fan? So anyway, I had the best experience. It was so much fun. But I did a table flip, my first dance. And at first, they're like, "You want to do it?" And I was just like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to do it for the fans because I know they're going to love it. And I said, this time I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. So I did it with a smile on my face.
Do you remember your monologue by heart?
Which one?
Your table flip monologue.
Oh, everything I said?
Yeah.
The prostitution, her,
Sure.
me 19 times, you're
Yeah.
fucking somebody in my short house, yeah.
Well, let me tell you. I mean, that's the Cliff Notes version, but I'm going to tell you exactly because I've watched it many, many, many times. I am paying attention, obviously. There has to be something else. It's not just name change and arrested. There has to be something else. You were stripping? Prostitution whore? You were fucking engaged 19 times? You stupid bitch! And then it goes. That's it. Actually, I'm not kidding. I never went to drama school, but if I auditioned for Juilliard, that is my monologue. Have you ever been denied entry into a restaurant because they were like, "There's that table flipper lady"?
No, if anything, they're like, please come in. Yeah. Yeah, I heard the restaurant where I did the table flip, that restaurant was so busy for years.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, and then we went there, and I remember Gina went there right after the table flip, and she was saying how packed the restaurant was. And the owner even gave Dina a bill. I thought that was so shitty. Sorry. It was. I mean, come on. He's like getting all this business. I agree. Right? It's kind of shitty. And it was $80. Really? You're going to give your bill $80? Just saying.
Oh, look at this. It says go to Dorinda's package.
That's Dorinda. I'm moderating this thing. You stop it. Come on. It's actually a good question. Tell us about some of the perks about being a housewife. Have you? I mean, do people buy you drinks?
There was not a lot of perks for me. Come on. No, because I got used as an example.
You mean
Going to
legal
jail.
trouble, right?
Going to jail. So.
Wow, you see how respectful and careful I am with Teresa?
So
You mean legal
there's-
problems?
I mean, what do they say? What's that saying? The good comes with the bad? What's that saying? What's that saying? Guys, what's that saying? You gotta take the good with the
Take the
bad.
good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you have the facts of life.
Meaning, because I was on TV, if I was just a regular housewife, real regular housewife,
Right.
not being on TV, I probably wouldn't have went to jail. Joe was telling me she had nothing to do with it, but because I was on TV, Joe was like, they want you more than they want me. And he was the one that did it. Yeah. It was crazy. And I was just going through the motions, and I was just like, I really thought it was nothing was going to happen. And then when I was in court and that judge said, I guess whatever her language was, that I was going to jail, I was just like, what? I was shocked, guys. I'm not kidding. I said to my lawyer, what did she just say? And then I'm like, am I going to jail? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, it was the most devastating thing in my entire life. Just imagine leaving your 4 daughters.
Sure.
It was really heart-wrenching.
Sure.
But I have to say, that scene when you came home, I cried. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, well, my heart's just beating talking about it right now.
Yeah.
It's remember, and my heart was really beating
back
out.
door. I'm getting goosebumps. And the kids were like, Mommy, and I watched it 4 times. That was art.
And then the only thing that,
so incredible.
Thank you. The only thing that
It was
says
really
that,
real. I mean, you let people share that moment. And that's what makes a great housewife. You gotta let them share the good times, the bad times, the happy, the sad. We hope we take you on a journey. And we hope at the end of it you love us more. How sad. Sorry, Jerry.
No, it's all right. Trey, before we end, do you have any advice for other housewives who are dealing with legal issues currently?
yeah, make sure your husband's filing taxes. Yes.
Good advice?
Oh my God, yes.
Good advice?
That's what happened. The government came knocking on my door and he's like, where's your husband? I'm like, he's not here. I'm like, who are you? Like, right away I gave an attitude because I thought everything was perfect. And I was just like, he's like, well, your husband hasn't filed taxes in 10 years. I'm like, what? I was like shocked. Yeah, I really was.
But you have any
Make
advice
sure.
emotionally for them, how to prepare for it, to be, like, should they be more guarded? Should they be...
No, just gotta be on top of everything. Make sure, like, talk to the accountant. Make sure you're signing tax forms. Yeah, because I used to say to him, don't I have to file any taxes? And he's like, don't worry about Tree, everything's good.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Yeah.
So, I guess the moral is go to H&R Block, everybody. We cannot wait for your spin-off with Louis. I know it's not announced, but I'm already calling it. We want a Brady Bunch spin-off. Trey, we love you. Good luck next season with Real Housewives of Jersey. Love, 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 Trey, everybody. It's so funny. We were going through all the questions, Dorinda, and I think it's possible you are the most quoted housewife on all top. You just have winner after winner after winner after winner. I mean, my wife put on a Giovanni dress, and the entire night, the whole night, I was yelling at her from across the party, Giovanni!
It's fun.
You can't plan this stuff, right? How does it come to you? Were you always quotable?
I don't know. I think my mother always... I think I got it from Diane Sicala, my mother. She always was throwing out quotes growing up. So a lot of the stuff is Dianisms, but yeah, they just keep coming and coming and coming, so enjoy.
Well, I mean, when you were in high school, was everyone like quoting you? I mean, were you a quotable person? Were there quotes of you all over your yearbook?
But you know, my mother always raised us with lessons like, well, this is this, and don't forget that that is this. So we grew up in this quotable house. She'd always be repeating things like that. And I think I just kind of, I like the way it kind of makes the moment memorable. I don't know, and to tell you the truth, when I'm doing it, I don't realize that these things are going to go viral. You don't know, right? So you watch it, you know, 6 months later, and you can't believe that like this thing has gone viral when you didn't even know it at the moment.
It's so funny. Going back to clip, like, what was it? You were trying to quiet someone? What?
I don't know. Bethany said to me afterwards, I don't know what that means. Will I finish? But I think we've got a winner here, right? She goes, what did you mean? I said, Bethany, I'm not sure. I just wanted it to stop. So,
Like show your mouth?
yeah, I think it's an Italian thing, right?
Zip it.
Zip it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Now.
Bethany always knew, what was going to be sort of the winners. She did. She was always good. She's like, okay, that's going to be a winner.
That's funny. Bluestone Manor is as much a part of
Yes!
you as anything else. Here's a question for iconic housewives.
They did a potato chip. I did a potato chip with Lay's based on my lasagna Bluestone Manor. Can you imagine?
Look at this, tying in
Lay's
stuff.
potato chip.
A lasagna?
It's lasagna flavored potato chip.
Okay.
Can't wait. Do you use your fingers when you're serving it?
Well, it's so funny.
It's crunchy.
Yeah, when we were, it's so funny because when we were talking about it, that was when the people on the call were like, and you can use your fingers to make
there we
this
go.
potato chip. I said, okay.
This is a question for all the icons up here. Do iconic housewives need a manor? Do they need like a Bluestone Manor? Do they
I
need?
think I'm the only one that really has, like, I was thinking about it the other day. I think that I'm the only one in the New York franchise that has a house now big enough where all of them can stay. That's what makes Bluestone Manor nice, is they can all come and stay in one place.
Sorry, Jill.
I had a house in the Hamptons that.
No, but what do we have now? Not 10 years ago. What do we have now?
Let's get to Dorinda's question. Hold on. Let's get to Dorinda's question. Let's just get to Dorinda's question.
Because you said you never want to stay there again.
Actually,
Say it, forget it.
Okay.
Regret it.
Let's just let Jill respond for a second.
I happen to be in the middle of a massive, beautiful renovation of a 7,000 square foot home in Boca. I have a full penthouse apartment in the city. I have an apartment in Miami, and I have a house in the Hamptons that I have.
Okay, we'll measure square footage. Listen, we're all gonna whip it out and measure square footage when this is over, okay? But hold on a second, Dorinda, I've gotta ask.
Excuse me? Not rented? No.
So do you own your
rented in the city?
I don't own rented. Hello. makes you, darling.
Yeah.
You all follow me to every house I get, okay? It's the contents of the house that's in there. When I'm ready to buy a home, I'll let you
I'm not living in an empty house. I'm living in
So I think what's great about this, no matter
my
if you
beautiful
feel me.
family.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We covered that. I've got to ask you a very important question.
Real Housewives Ultimate Girls True too, I think was so successful because it was that blissful.
Okay.
Definitely very exclusive.
Okay. Dorinda, I've got to ask you this question. Your goal is always to make it nice. How do you stay so optimistic when things aren't going so nicely?
Just keep it moving. And you know what? I always say consider the source.
You know,
Then
can I
just
just
keep
say
it
something
moving.
about that? I'd like to say something
No.
about that. You know, on that make it nice statement, the irony is that when you said it, you were in a rage in your kitchen yelling at your guests, I made it nice! Make it nice. And it was the way you said it. You said it with such venom.
Okay.
Such
Listen.
venom.
I've got to get this wrong down. I've got to get it wrong down. But Dorinda, I'm going to ask you once again. You love to make things nice. How do you stay so optimistic when things aren't going so nicely?
Let Jill answer it. Because this is her package.
This is like a Lay's answer, maybe? Maybe this has something to do with Lay's, Dorinda? Maybe this answer has something to do with Lay's?
Well, I am so excited about my partnership with Lays with
Great. Thank you.
It's another partnership, can you imagine? And they're doing a lasagna potato chip.
Great.
It's going to be based on tomato-based sausage, whipped ricotta cheese, a golden flake basil, and of course a kitchen onion powder. And they have it here.
We have it here. Thank you so much. Dorinda, we cannot thank you enough for the memories. We love you. Dorinda made it nice, everybody! You throw the best shade on all of Bravo. I think we all agree.
I enjoy it, actually.
How does one throw? Is it something you're born with? Is it a God-given gift? Is it something you accrue over time?
I think it goes back to one of your first questions. I'm just authentically me, and I've always been, a jokester. I'm in the moment. I deliver what you see because I'm enjoying that organically. So I never know what I'm going to say, and I'm not produced. It is me. And so it comes off very genuine, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it while I'm saying it.
We all did extensive research. Where did you get the title, Grand Dame?
Well, let's talk about that. That title bothers everybody, but
Doesn't bother us.
No, not the fans. Everybody in RHRP land who wants to be me, okay? But I'll say this, it comes from you all, and it's a place of love. And I'm a smart cookie. You call me the Grand Dame. I branded it La Dame, and now we have a brand, and we're doing great things. Bloomingdale's, HSN. So I thank you all for that, but it was nothing that I thought. Let me be very clear. I never, ever called myself the Grand Dame. And when they started calling me that, I was like, oh no, that's not my name. Because if you look it up in the dictionary, it says old. And shit about me old, okay? But excuse my language. But at the same time, I began to embrace it because it came from a place of love from you all. So thank you.
Can you list all the Potomac etiquette rules for us off the top of your head?
Don't sit in my seat. Don't sit in my seat. Don't sit in my seat. Not at my birthday party. But there are so many more over the last 7 years. I think.
Does Giselle know not to sit in your seat?
Giselle and I are the greatest, I believe, frenemies on Real Housewives. And I invite her ass to sit in my seat anytime she wants, because I am at this point where I will move her out of my seat.
Do you ever feel you have to, because there is a bar that you set for yourself, do you have to censor yourself sometimes to stay above the fray?
Ooh, that's a great question, because I never thought I should censor myself at all until I went through the pandemic with all of you. Okay, I don't know about you, but I had to keep laughing. And so this season, I'll give you a teaser, the F word is my favorite word, and it flies at every occasion. So I did not censor, I never did censor myself. The question is, should I have censored myself a little bit? I'm going to push back and say no, because where I put the F-bombs, it's perfect. Go.
Please don't throw shade at the messenger here.
Okay.
But how is everything in Surrey County, and why did you not shoot the video in Surrey County? I'm sorry.
Well, I love my producers, and you know, editing is a wonderful thing, and but I also like rehearsing. You know, that was the precursor to the actual video. And if you haven't seen it, please go to my Instagram. It's fabulous. And I am now the ambassador to Surrey with so many great things. Thank you for bringing that up. And being the Grand Dame at Bravo, shining the light on Surrey County. We now have a supermarket coming.
Wow.
Blue Desert. I simply am the ambassador, and if you saw the special that I was able to show you about my family owning the slave plantation, which
right.
We own the damn town. Let's talk about that. I'm proud to say that, hey, we are now moving on into glamping. The kids came up with the succession plan, so we're turning that into glamping, and we've got great things going on. I hope I answered that question. The Grand Dame says Grand Dame. What the hell?
You have one of the most quotable lines, and I want to know if you are going to be copywriting this. Will they be selling this? Hotbox to me when you referred to a possible STD as a hotbox.
Yes.
Are we going to be? Are we going to find that on T-shirts somewhere here this weekend?
Well, you know what? I don't need to sell it. You know, I already did. I won't be printing it. Hello, I'll say that. But listen, Hotbox. I am 5'9", and when I was in high school, they called it the Hotbox. They didn't tell STD. And we're like, oh, you got a Hotbox? What's going on? Kind of thing. And so I just thought Hotbox was the most eloquent thing I could say in that heated moment between my dear friend and I.
You and Ray at your wedding, at your vow renewal, I think we're on second or third base up there on the altar. Are you always that passionate, or was that a special kiss?
Well, that was the 20th reunion you just saw. No, I had to lock it down. Ray was slowing it down. I was like, listen, honey, I'm 17 years younger. Keep the tongue coming. So, yeah, I slowed them down. I think it's important, you know, if you are the woman, the younger woman in the relationship, keep it going. We just celebrated 26 years. Marriages work. I'll slow them down again.
Trey, back to you. Can I ask you and Louis, when you kissed at your wedding, was there, I'm sorry to get so graphic here, was there tongue or no tongue?
A little bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
From him or you?
Both of us.
Okay,
Yeah,
a mutual.
I didn't want to I didn't want the lipstick to be all over my face. I'm sure, you know, all brides, right? We don't want our lipstick to be all over, because after that we have to take pictures. We don't have time to touch up.
Right.
So,
you look gorgeous. You look gorgeous.
Well, let's ask him. Did you kiss Rebecca? Little tongue?
I didn't use any tongue, just because, like, my parents were there. And I just didn't. I wasn't feeling it, you know.
I gotta agree. You don't want to do it in front of your kids. I did that in front of my children. Brandon and Raven have not recovered. And that was 5 years ago. Okay, we just renewed our 25th anniversary, and they're like, please don't slob daddy down. And so I was conservative at the renewal. So
I was watching it in bed with my wife, who's not here because she's watching the kids while I party all weekend. And I actually like watching your kiss made me a little excited, and
that's what I aspire to do. Get it on, drop your panties, and
right.
keep the marriage going, okay?
Well, my wife said, don't touch me, we're watching Potomac. So,
that's not what I want.
that was that. Here's a great question, Grand Dame. But before joining, because it's hard to believe that Potomac started in 2016. I mean, that's kind of recent. Were you a fan of any other franchises?
Absolutely, New York. And I like Jersey. Now I don't watch anybody, including me. Yeah, once you're a housewife, I think that you stop watching. You know, I'd rather get to know the housewives personally, which I've done so through the years.
So can I ask you, do you not watch other franchises now because you're afraid it will affect how you are on the show?
Absolutely not. I'm an original.
No, I get
So there's nothing that I'm going to see on, no disrespect, these ladies are great, but I bring Karen Huger, okay?
You do?
So nothing that I see on another show will I try and repeat, because you guys are too smart for that. And then it's not reality TV, that's scripted TV.
That's right.
And that's what makes me, I think, current and pretty cool.
No, he's saying why are you not watching it now? It's because
I'm saying no.
busy,
Oh,
right?
I'm not watching it now because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
I'm really, really busy. Thank you guys. Thank you, Teresa, for the clarification.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm super, super busy.
Yeah.
And I really do peek in every now and then, but you really have to watch every episode to follow
Yeah.
Housewives.
I have a DVR. Beverly Hills has been pretty good this season. You
Yeah.
might want to check it out.
Okay.
Listen, Grand Dame, the holidays are coming up. I mean, La Dame sales are obviously going to spike. Are we going to see any body washes, any scented moisturizers? What else we got coming down the pipe?
Well, I'm one hell of a businesswoman. What I did was I stuck with the 3-wick, and thank you guys for making it a huge success. But we will be expanding this holiday for a limited edition 4-wick for the It's limited edition because the 3-wick is selling like crazy, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Grand Dame, Bravo would not be the same without you. We all love you, and we thank you for all that you do. Do you feel like you're part of the bedrock of this network? Watching those clips, I mean, guys, that wasn't even an HD. That was before TVs were like this. Did you see that?
That was before iPhones.
Do you feel like you are the bedrock of this network?
To be on the show when I got to be on it. That's really what it is. I am grateful to be part of the network, the family, the fact that they, kept me in it for so long, brought me back for the Ultimate Girls Trip. It was a big treat for me. As my life has moved on, I'm doing, wonderful things. I moved to Florida for the most part, but I'm just so happy to be here.
Jill, tell us about doing Ultimate Girls Trip. There was a 10-year hiatus between New York and you being on UGT, as we call it in our house. Was it different? Was it familiar?
Very familiar. Very familiar. I don't, it's probably one of my biggest problems. I don't pre-think it. I just walk in, and I just say what I say. I get in trouble for what I get in trouble for all the time, and I'm authentic.
Has the process changed at all?
Very much so.
How?
Well, they break the fourth wall now. That was like a big no-no. I was telling someone today who was wearing a shirt that said,
Bravo, 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 fucking bravo.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And it was saying, actually, and I don't know if it was me or Bethany or one of us. Oh, somebody's walking by. Someone's making a move, sorry. And actually, we said it on our show. Maybe they said it on Jersey too, but we had been told, like they were, that if you said bravo during filming, they would have to cut it out because in those days, they would not break what's called the fourth wall. Does everyone know what a fourth wall is here? But for those who don't, when the sitcom days, like Seinfeld, there's 3 walls, and the fourth wall is the audience. And that's why they call it breaking the fourth wall, seeing the audience, seeing it's a TV show.
Wow, who knew this was going to be a film class, everybody?
Well, some people don't know it. They don't want to say they don't.
Right.
This is like New York Film Academy.
Anyway, so back then, Bravo's philosophy was we don't want people to know this is a television show. They want, we want you immersed in it. And then I think the first person where they broke it was Denise, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's the first time
it was so good. Actually, also, I think maybe with Teresa.
Yeah, they broke it on
With that phone call with Joe. But he was mic'd. He wasn't on camera. But that was like a little different. There's all these little differences. But the idea that we were told is that if the camera's not on you, even if you're mic'd, they're not listening. And it happened. It was like that for 4 years. After I left, little by little, they changed the rules. After and didn't tell anyone while they were filming. Just like one of the this year.
I remember a part. Remember when I told Danielle, she asked me if she should pull Margaret's hair. I'm like, yeah, do it. And then they showed it on the show, and I'm like,
That is an interesting question. I mean, you are obviously mic'd all the time. That's got to be frightening, being mic'd all the time.
yes, and you forget. It was too much tequila that day.
I think the person that in recent memory who got in the biggest trouble for that was on Salt Lake City with Lisa when she went in her room.
Right, sure.
And she really was away from the whole scene. She went upstairs to her room. They're still filming the party downstairs, but somebody was listening. Usually they would turn her mic down because they're listening to the conversation, but they caught it. And
it's the worst feeling when you're still mic'd and you think the scene's over and you forget to take your mic off and you're talking away and you're like, And then you run downstairs to the producer, like, you're not going to use that, right?
Wait, I'm gonna tell you guys.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Right?
Wait, one time I didn't like what I said. Oh my God, they're gonna Bravo, don't get mad at me. I took my mic off, I threw it in the toilet. Shit!
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I was like, oh my God, it fell in the toilet. I was pushing down my pants.
Right.
I have to say something about Jill. She wasn't on for 10 years.
I didn't want.
She was a little bit nervous, I think, about coming out for Ultimate Girls Trip. We talked about it quite a bit, and I said, and it was as if you never not filmed. I mean, you jumped right in right away. I really
Look at that. Look at this. Dorinda, I want to see you guys hug now. Come on.
It's not getting crazy.
Come on. Hug her. Hug her. Hug her. Come on, you two. That's what we want to see. We love it. All right, no.
I'm not doing that with Caroline. I'm not even trying.
Jacqueline, get on out here. Hug Trey. Jokes,
And
everybody.
honestly, if Dorinda hadn't welcomed me, I would not have gone. Because I would not have been comfortable to go.
Well, you should tell people in Potomac not to come to parties if they're not invited by the host. Current season 7. Okay. No, I'm saying I agree with you that the invitation was very important that you got
Yes.
to make you comfortable, and I'm just piggybacking on that and saying, stay tuned, season 7. Some people should be at my parties because I didn't invite them. You know what I'm saying? Sean, I'm just
Hint,
saying,
hint,
darling.
for sure.
But I think you have to assume always that the mic is on.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, and that's what I do. And this season in particular, I love this one particular session where someone says, I love you too. And I'm like, okay. Usually when someone says, I love you too, that's in response to, I love you. I'm like, what are you doing? Mic checking 1, 2, 1, 2 on me? Because I didn't say I love you, okay? You know, it works in your favor, is my point sometimes, to always be mic'd, you know? And you run with that, and it actually turns your story in your favor.
Getting back to you, Jill. Jill, did you continue to watch New York after you left?
Not right away. I didn't watch, I left after 4. I didn't watch 5, 6, 7. I watched when Dorinda came on. When did you come on? 6?
I don't remember.
7.
7, 8, 9.
I definitely watched, because, you know, Dorinda and I knew each other, and we were friends, and I wanted to see, and you were hysterical, funny. I mean, you know, Dorinda's iconic, obviously. And great
Wow,
at
what's going on here?
What?
That's a good juju.
No, you were. I mean,
That's
you were great. You are great. And I think Ramona's great. I think Ramona's great TV.
And Jill came on a lot when we were filming. Even though you were off, you came on every season.
Couple times.
You know, so that was always, that kept her sort of...
We got to rewatch a clip of that fateful phone call with Bethany. It was a turning point for really everything. It was seismic. How does it make you feel looking at that?
You know, there's a lot of things. So, first of all, you know, when I put her on speakerphone, back then people didn't understand that I did not know Bethany was mic'd on the street. So no producer told me that, so I put her on speakerphone because if I want everyone to hear her, that's what I have to do. At the time, the fans didn't understand. They're like, why are you letting Luann listen and eavesdrop and all that stuff? And that was just because of production issues, right? So I couldn't defend myself. I mean, now it's many years later. You know, saying we're done is an expression I've said many times. I'm sure many of you have said in your life, we're done, but didn't really mean it. And I didn't mean it, whether it was with her or anyone else. And I think it gave Bethany an opportunity to separate from me, which was, I believe, pre-thought, because Bethany had gotten another show with Bravo, which none of us knew about, on the Housewives. So she was trying to figure out, this is what I believe, I could be wrong, that she didn't want to take me with her on the ride she was going on, and it just, I gave her a reason. You know what I mean? And life moves on. And then I went on to do season 4, and I thought season 4 was the best season of all, to be honest. Morocco, I mean, it was so many great things in season 4.
Let's actually, this is a question for everybody. What is it about trips? What is it about trips?
Well, because you're
I mean,
together 12 years now.
Well, listen, I will say, when I go on vacations with my family, we do fight. Like, there's planes, there's hotels, this isn't a good enough hotel room, you have to sleep on the couch, who's sleeping on the cot? There are fights. But why is it so epic on Bravo? What is it about the trips that makes everybody so crazy?
Because you're with the same person for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And you have to like
You don't
fight them when they come out.
16 hours a day.
Yeah,
You're
if you don't-
filming when you get
That's a
up.
lot.
You're filming all day, every
There's
day.
no escape.
All until nighttime, until they take your night off.
Yeah.
And then you're going out, and then it's not like, and they give you no real, you're not really laying around, and then you're drinking, and then people are all, talking with each other, and by the 4th day, you're just exhausted.
I actually think that I'm listening to you ladies talk, and it gives us an opportunity. It's 4 to 7 women, okay? All those hormones for 5 days. And if we have an issue, it's going to come up. And that is why it happens on the trips. And I actually look forward to the trips because I get to really see what I'm dealing with, what I'm working with, because if you're gonna flip on me or if I'm gonna need to flip on you, it's gonna happen on the trip. And that's the rest of the season. It tells you where we're going. So the trips are very important for the reality of Housewives and our storylines. I think we all evolve.
And I think that's why the Ultimate Girls trips, both of them, have been so successful because it's so intense that you can kind of get to it quicker, right? You put all these women in one area for 7 nights, 8 days, whatever, and all of a sudden, and you're filming when you wake up, filming at lunch, filming in the afternoon, filming at dinner, filming after dinner. It's bound to happen.
Right, the regular shows, you have a start, middle, you film from 10 to 12, or, there's 4-hour slots. And then you go home and rest. You might go home for 4 days and rest, or you might film 4 days in a row, but there's always breaks.
Yes.
7 days, pressure cooker, and, the
From the time we woke up. From the time we woke
Wait,
up, the
7
cameras
days?
went
You guys went on trips for 7 days?
No, Ultimate Girls
Ultimate
trip.
Girls trip.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
You did that. No, you did that in terms
Yeah, only for Ultimate Girls Trip, yeah.
Right, but it was a lot more intense.
Yeah. I mean, with us, we didn't fight that much.
No.
On ours. Yeah.
Speaking of trips, we saw Gary send you flowers on UGT. Gary is here. Where is he, everybody? Stand up, Gary. Let me say hi. Everybody. Listen, I hate to put you on the spot, but are we taking this to the next level? What are our intentions here, young man?
I have to tell Jill before I tell anyone else. I'll tell you. You don't find that first, but maybe second.
He's a keeper. Tell us about your feelings about your future.
I'm with my beautiful daughter, Allie. We're in business together. I never thought that would happen.
Say hi.
Excited by the pandemic. Those who follow, we made a lot of masks. We donated a lot of masks. Did a lot of things to help nurses. And then when it was over, Allie didn't want to go back to the real world to get a real job. We have to, whatever. So she's like, I like this working at home and having my own schedule. So we parlayed it, and I had to come up with something to replace masks. And we came up with crystal manifestation candles, and it's been really terrific.
Allie, stand up, say hi. How are you? Allie, we have social media. We followed your story on TikTok.
TikTok, she loves TikTok.
But it revealed some private information, and it was out there. A question for those who have children: Is it tough with the kids in the show, or is it? Tell me about the good and the bad.
Well, my daughter doesn't really come on after about the first season. That was it. You really never saw her again. Maybe once a season, but barely. So she would go on. She'd say, "Mom, I'll do one scene a season," and that was a problem because they're part of your life, and she doesn't even like when I talk about her. I'm probably going to get in trouble, tonight. Literally, I will get calls and get yelled at.
Tell me about the good and the bad.
So I'm not the only one who's
Gia and Melania like the cameras. My second daughter, Gabriella, no.
Okay.
But I think Gia put it out there already next season. For Gabriella to speak, it means a lot. Like everything stops when
Right.
Gabriella speaks because she's pretty amazing. So next season, you guys will hear her speak. And Adriana, she's still she just turned 13, so she's in that middle age. I think she's okay with the cameras. She was on it a little bit more this season, so we'll see. Yeah. But it does get tricky with them, because, listen, Melania was just saying, Melania's so cute, that somebody was saying something to her about me in school.
Right.
She just told me again the other day, and it made me upset, when I was in jail. I'm like, that's so mean. You're like, you know.
It's hard on the kids.
I hate that.
It can be. I think it can be hard on the kids because, you're mom.
Right.
You are, and I'll say everyone knows that Brandon, my son, he's 35 years old. He's a grown man. He doesn't really like the camera, but Raven is TV gold. So, she's giving mommy a run for her money. She's extremely comfortable. But for me, it was a matter of asking each child what they wanted to do and
That's right.
respecting
Yeah,
that.
I don't
Because
push
the first
it, yeah.
and
Me neither.
foremost is I value them as
Yeah,
individuals. So it worked out well for us because they're very proud of me and they encourage me to do that. But I also respected their boundaries. And it's hard to do that on this platform because, as Dorinda said,
You saw them with
they're
their
part of my life. They're part of my story. Brandon will step forward, but that's just so mommy can lean on him. He'll get me up the stairs to remarry his father.
Push her.
But Raven will go in for an entire conversation, and she's at that place, and I respect each child's decision.
I think I can speak for Allie, sort of, can I say? So Allie didn't have a choice. I signed up on a TV show. I did a lot of things the first season I would not have done if I could do it over now, because what I was trying to put out there didn't get received the way I was trying to put it out there. After that, I think I learned my lesson, and Allie really got to choose if and when she wanted to be on. But even then, she was too young to even know. But if you ask her, and she was embarrassed to be on it, kids, she said made fun of her for being on it, they were, whatever. Now, because of TikTok and all the reality stars and everything else, Allie would do this show now if she could. Because she sees how much value there is, that social media, she'd have bigger TikTok, which she loves. She would have all that. Where back then, there wasn't any TikTok, and there was no Twitter, and there was no Instagram. So everything she would hear would be on horrible blogs or through people.
Yeah.
So I think it's changed.
I think it's easier when your kids are older. Like, I admire the housewives that are able to bring their kids out when they're young. By the time I went on, Hannah was 18. But I really think, God, it must be really hard when you have young kids and you're raising, they're going through all this stuff and they're in school and you have to, you know what I mean? By the time I went on, she was 18, she was in college, so I kind of could, get away with it.
Before we wrap up, can I quickly ask you about reunion seating? Do you request where you sit, or are you told?
Absolutely not.
You can't request it all?
Not at all. Not at all.
We didn't request where we're sitting today.
Ladies, I speak on behalf of not only everyone in this room, but anyone who has ever watched Bravo. We cannot thank you enough. Give it up for the